Bonafide Hustler here, and today on this show, I'm going to show you 8 items that sold within a week. What's going on, guys and gals? Chris the Bonafide Hustler coming to you live from the inside of my house, and today we're going to look at 8 items that sold within a week. Hey, that's a fast flip in my book. Guys, if you want to learn some really awesome items that you can find at thrift stores and garage sales that are predominantly used and that you can resell for cash, go check out my guide right here. It's free. It's the first link down below. Yeah, go get that thing for free at bonafidehustler.com. All right, so on this show, there are 8 items. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. Some were sold locally and others were sold on eBay. Let's go check out those items right now. All right, so the very first item is actually a kid's Strider bike. I've actually flipped about 3 of these in the past 2 months. Anyways, here's a picture of one of the 3. It was a blue one. These are obviously sold locally. I get into these for 10 and less, and they're very easy to flip for 40 and above. In fact, after I'd found this one, or the red one, I had a red one as well, I found a silver one. I think it's called a Pro 12 model, and that one I found for around 5 or 10 bucks, and that one sold for 70. It was mint, but that silver model was also one that is at Target for around 150, or at least Target.com. So it kind of gives you, an idea of, if someone's willing to spend 150 on a new one at Target.com, then they could spend 70 bucks, for a mint one locally. So yeah, but this one right here, let's look at some more angles about it. This is basically a kid's push bike, and it has plastic tires, so there's no tubes in these tires. It makes it even an easier flip at this point because you don't have to really worry about anything. A lot of times when you find them, the seat will be in the highest position, and it's basically how the bike kind of turns out after the kid grows out of it. So basically you want to put that seat back down to the normal position, so that way when the next kiddo comes and checks it out, or the next potential buyer, at least it's not sky high and they get kind of, I don't know, where, when they look at something and they go, it's going to be too tall for the kiddo. These push bikes are basically very, very small bikes made out of aluminum, and kids just scoot them around. So that's the first item right there that you should be looking out for, are Strider push bikes. They come in different colors, a couple different models, but the handlebars telescope, and so do the seat posts as well. So the seat post and the handlebars can go both up and down, and you can accommodate a little kiddo on there that can scoot around and start learning how to balance. They're also known as balance bikes. All right, this next find was $4 at a Goodwill on a Saturday, and the craziest part was I found another one right next to it. But this is a vintage 90s Grateful Dead shirt, and it is awesome. It's an Onita tee, single stitch sleeve, beautiful colors. I'd originally asked, I think, $129 or maybe $149 with the best offer, and someone came at me with like a $75 offer. I countered at $90 and the person bought it. So this $4 shirt, I flipped it for 90 bucks, sold within a week. And here's another close-up of, the actual thing where I was able to identify it as a 90s shirt. Ripple Junction 1992 Grateful Dead tie-dye shirt. A complete winner. And the other one that I have is also, I wouldn't say equally as good as this one, but still more than likely a $60 to $80 shirt as well. I will put that on another show, but this is just an amazing find, and it was sitting in the t-shirt area of a Goodwill, and it was really easy to spot because it was a tie-dye color. The next item that sold within a week are 2 pairs of Cool pants. So KUHL, this is a great brand. You guys definitely need to understand it. The best thing about Cool pants, at least the more current day ones, which are about maybe 5 to 8 years old, is they have the model, not numbers, but the model names inside the pants, as you can see right here. These pants are just awesome pants for mountaineering, trekking, general hiking. They also have interesting sew patterns around the legs to where it actually can feel better against your thighs when you go into like a kneeling position or you're in a seated position. So they're very purposely built good articles of clothing, let's put it that way. Overstitched in the right places. Basically, these are the rider model and the revolver model, and I was $12.10 out the door on these 2 from a Savers, and they were really close to each other on the racks. The same size too, which allowed me to lot them up as well on eBay. and they sold for 80 bucks within a week. So pay attention to cool pants. They're definitely something that can make you some good money, especially the Rider and the Revolver models. Next up are these Hoka One One or Hoka 11 Arahi model shoes that I picked up at a Goodwill for $9.73. These were in really good condition. Usually I don't pick up Hokas in anything but like a mint condition, as we can see by the soles right here. These are in really good condition. So I take the standard pictures, which in Shoes to Bucks you can learn about the standard pictures that I take. But these were in great condition, like an easy flip. I knew that was the case as soon as I picked them up. So $9.73, less than a week later, they had flipped for 70 bucks on eBay. And yeah, just take really good pictures and really make sure with Hoka, because the people that buy Hoka are very particular. A lot of times they're endurance runners, marathon runners, that kind of stuff. They really don't want too much wear and tear on that sole whatsoever. So glancing back at the sole pics, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You want to pick up Hoka 11 shoes in this type of condition. And there's so many models out there, whether it be the Clayton, Clifton, Challenger, this Arahi model. There's a bunch of different models, and they all seem to do pretty well. So anyway, something to look out for. I hope you enjoy that one. Let's go to the next item. The next item is actually a 2XU cycling bib. So basically this is what road cyclists pretty much, and cross-country cyclists, will use to where they can always have the padding around the groin area, like always in the right spot, not shifting around and everything like that. So a bib allows for that as opposed to normal shorts. A bib looks like this. It kind of looks like a really tight fitting pair of overalls, breathable mesh, and of course I like to really get into the ones that are made by strong brands like 2XU or Capo or Rafa, Giordana. They're just a whole bunch of good ones. Castelli is another good brand that you can look out for. But basically, when you look into the padded seat region, I like to find gel. I want to find red. I want to find those colors, or even yellow. I want to see something with an extensive amount of padding, and that to me dictates that the bib is in pretty. It's definitely a wanted bib. Let's put it that way. And then you always want to look at the parts that make contact with, or the end of the bib that makes contact with your mid thigh, and make sure that the rubber that's underneath that lip isn't fractured in any way or split or torn, because that's what allows the bib to not ride up your legs as you are cycling around. So something to definitely check into. But these at a Goodwill were $7.78, and if everything serves me correctly, they actually sold for $89.99. So that's a crazy sale right there on a pair of bibs. And I think I even found this when College Picker was in town and we went to a Goodwill after working out one day. So pretty awesome find. Look for cycling bibs like this. Next up, those bags to bucks. Of course you're going to see a bag on my video, right? This one was actually made by a company called J. Crew. Everyone knows what J. Crew is. You can equate it to Gap or any of those other places that you see in the mall. And typically, I don't like to resell bags that come from stores like this. But this one was an exception because it was, first of all, canvas and cotton. And it had good colors, so it has that khaki to navy blue coloring to it. And then to top it all off, it was a soft bag. And even to top that all off, it had awesome leather accents for the handles and the shoulder strap stuff. So very nice bag, honestly. And if we look at the bottom part of it, we can see that this thing has plenty of life left in it. This bag was pretty cheap. I think it was $9.73 at a Goodwill, and you would never know this is a J. Crew bag unless you looked inside the bag, and at that point you see this label. And yeah, so I ordinarily won't resell stuff that comes from Gap or J. Crew, but or places like that. But some bags do carry good resale, and the real defining one here, I think, was the keywords that I used, which was weekender, duffel, soft, canvas / leather / cotton. So those kind of keywords really, I think, drove the bag to the right buyer. Sold for $69.99, so a $9.73 bag sold within a week for $69.99. Sign me up. I'll take that profit all day long. Okay, next up, a pair of Birkenstock sandals. And I think a lot of you guys out there or resellers might not have picked this one up, or maybe it just goes under the radar because first of all, I paid $19.47 for these out the door, and that's pretty much double what I would pay for any sort of sandal. But these are Birkenstocks and they were in perfect condition. Let's look at the underside of those and you can kind of see they're basically mint, unworn. Birkenstock are cork sandals, and these are the Gizeh model, Gizeh if I'm not mistaken. Really nice pebbled leather top strap right there, as you can see, and if we look into the footbed, we can see that the Birkenstock, and this one's a size 41, that footbed has no fade on the actual lettering of Birkenstock or the 41, and which that's where all the foot contact is going to be made, and that's where the discoloration will be very evident. And as we can look at the other part of the footbed where the toes would be, there is no discoloration on the shoe. Basically, this is a mint shoe, and this now dictates for me to look into, okay, you know, how much can I spend on this, and what am I going to get out of it? And so $19.47, I decided to, you know, take the stab at this because a lot of them were selling between 65 and like $100. So I managed within a week to flip this guy for $80, $79.99. Pretty awesome flip, and in really good condition if you take a look at that. So I was really proud about that one, but of course the main part is the undersole. So take a look at your undersole of your Birkenstocks before you decide to buy them, and make sure that also that the cork around the Birkenstock appears nice and shiny and not dried out. So that's another thing you want to be looking for before you flip a pair of Birkenstocks. Okay, last item that I flipped under a week, and make sure you hit the like button first of all, because this is kind of an experimental show for me, but let's get right to this item. And I got this item as part of my, not bike trade, but I didn't trade a bike, I sold a $2,400 mountain bike that I had rode for almost about a year for $2,700. I then took that $2,700 and I bought a Bike Mechanics mountain bike that was just a way better model of the current bike that I had before. And anyways, he tossed in a bunch of cool extras, and this was one of the extras among other things, like a Garmin, I think it's a 35 heart rate monitor thing, and for this handlebars, and he tossed in another pair of handlebars that were 740 millimeters long. They were 31.8 diameter on the clamp, and you might be thinking, what is so special about these handlebars? And I don't get it. Well, first of all, they're made by a really good, strong brand called Yeti. And second of all, they're carbon handlebars. So carbon handlebars, Yeti, at a 740 millimeter. You know, that's not going to be very cheap, and usually on the internet you can find them between 100 and 150 bucks used. 740 millimeters is the width, and a lot of mountain bikers, whether you're a female or a male, you're going to be around that 740 millimeter all the way up to about 800 millimeter width. All the other pertaining information that you must put in your description, or could even be keywords in your eBay listing, will be little things like this that you see on the handlebar. It'll show you the reach, the clamp, the sweep, things like that. But yeah, and you can also tell. One thing to also make sure is that when you're going to resell a carbon handlebar that is mountain bike oriented, that the ends don't appear to be cut by a random hacksaw or anything like that. So these right here are uncut, and you can cut them to shorter spec if you want to, but these were uncut, and usually an uncut bar will yield way better resale than a cut bar. Doesn't mean you don't want to resell a cut bar, you just have to do measurements and stuff like that and say it's cut. But an uncut bar like this is something definitely to look out for. So this was essentially free with my next bike purchase, and I was able to flip this one on eBay very quickly for $75. So pretty awesome stuff. So what'd you guys think? Let me know down below. Make sure you leave a comment. I love reading comments, and if you guys like shows like this and you learn some things, then make sure you put that in the comment. That way I can film another one for you. Guys, take it easy. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time. Bye!